In America, students start preparing for college applications in high school. But what does this process look like in China? Every year, over 9 million Chinese high school students apply to college. Here in Beishida Arfuzhou, a second middle school attached to Beijing Normal University, Gaosan students, the Chinese equivalent of high school seniors, are studying for the Gaokao, a yearly test, and their ticket into college. Unlike the application process in the US, which takes into account extracurriculars and community service, applications in China consist only of their score on this single test. How do they endure this process? And how do they prepare? But why do they study so hard? When we interviewed a professor, she said,
It's not just one person who decided it, but cultural roots run very deep.
This is because in Chinese history, men would acquire a formal education in order to pass a civil service exam, which then determined whether or not they could become an official. Education back then was such an important part of a better life, and that has carried over into modern day values. Another teacher said,
In
Chinese history, they all heavily emphasize science and education, and to do it well. Military, culture, industry, they all want to do it well. And to do that, you need education.
We still inherit these traditions from our culture. It's important because education has a big impact on other things in life. If you don't study hard, then you won't have any potential.
to prepare at this level, students must endure the game of the brave, a culture of academic achievement that has famously existed in China. This idea is rooted around one exam, the Gaokao. But how do the students cope with the pressure behind this one exam? And what kind of toll does this exam take on the minds of the Chinese students? When talking with a college graduate, she said that when she was in high school, she thought it was fun. She didn't like doing work and didn't really care about studying. This, however, is a rare occurrence in Chinese high schools. She talked about a classmate that she had.
But I did have one classmate. She killed herself. It could have been because she thought the pressures were too much. This was in high school.
According to the Chinese Center of Disease and Control, suicide is the top cause of death among youth in China, with stress over school being a major factor. But now we ask ourselves, who is to blame for this, the system or the people? The pressure of having to achieve their best is first ingrained in the classroom. Due to limited resources and a large gender gap of males to females in the country, female students often have the mentality that they need to achieve higher scores than their male peers in order to have the same opportunities in life. When picking what academic path they would like to go into, students are often influenced by outside sources such as their peers, teachers, and parents. When speaking with two Gaosan students, one of them, a female student by the name of Pauline, in the literature and history track, explained how some students choose what track to take.
People say girls are good at thinking and boys are good at logical things, but I don't agree. Many girls choose the liberal arts track because they think the math in the math and science track is too difficult.
However, the ratio of girls to boys in these two tracks remain uneven at the moment. So now we know the context behind the system, but how do you actually get into college? The answer, in essence, is the Gaokao. A large portion of students end up studying at specialized cram schools to boost their grades.
The main thing we help students with is raising their grades, though we also teach studying habits.
But why put so much effort into a single test? According to a Chinese college professor, the importance of the test makes it worthy of this effort.
The most important part of the application is still the Gaokao grade. Students are accepted from highest grade to lowest. For example, if 12 students applied, we would look first at their combined grade, including different subjects of the Gaokao and additional points from recruitment events, and accept the highest scoring students.
This test-centric study culture is even reflected in the way colleges give credit to less academic-focused students with the independent recruitment process.
There's another road you can take when applying, in independent recruitment. Every year, colleges will hold these events for prospective students, which have opportunities like interviews or essays, which may award bonus points to their grades.
Taking all of these elements into consideration, how does a high school student in China navigate towards higher education? Read our blog to find out more.